How's it going, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we have a new knife to check out coming in from Miguron. While we get started, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. As far as I know, this knife is available, and I'll have what I can linked down below in the description. And we are about to witness my perfect folding knife, I believe. So let's get this thing out of here. Probably the most excited I've ever been for a Miguron knife. Oh, baby, look at that thing. So what we are witnessing right here is the new Miguron Arma 2. And apparently this knife has went through some updates, and just look at this thing. Oh my goodness. So if you're not familiar, Miguron's claim to fame recently over the last couple of years has been through their very affordable knives, around the $50 price point. But over the last year or two, they have started to go off into more premium ended knives. And in 2024, they really went crazy with all kinds of different premium knives and affordable knives as well. But they put out the Arma and revised it, and now we have the Arma version 2, and this thing is beautiful looking. Look at that drop point blade. This is going to be coming in M390. You have that two-tone satin with the hand satin up on the top there, and that belt satin running on the primary. Look at that. That's beautiful. You got this large cutout here, and you have a flipper tab for deployment. The detent, it's pretty strong. That blade is heavy, so it can't be too strong, or it'll be pretty difficult to get that out. But it's pretty decent. It's probably a little tight, I would say, maybe from the factory, or it needs a little bit of oil. We could drop some oil in it here in a minute, but let's take a look at this handle. We have some diamond texturing done, and all the edges are chamfered heavily. Looks very, very good. A couple of notches here. The blade is clean. You just have the Miguron emblem there on the pivot, and then we have some really good access to the lock bar. They chamfer that out and is very nice. The lockup, let's take a quick look. About 25%, I would say. And the relief cuts are on the outside here. And then we have a milled tie clip with that same diamond texture done. And they do run that on both sides all the way around. It looks very good. And then we have a full length titanium backspacer, and that is one hell of a chunk of titanium. So what kind of size are we actually looking at? We'll have to settle down a little bit. I'm really excited about this knife. So we're 3.5 inches of cutting edge, just shy of 4 inches total blade, and all of 8.5 inches strong. So we have some of our comparison knives here with the Benchmade bug out up top, and then we have the Kaiser drop bear on the bottom, and you'll see it's much longer, taller, and thicker than both of those. And then we have the Kaiser Militol, the full-size version up top, and the full-size Vastid Raccoon on the bottom. And those are larger knives, and the Arma just looks overwhelmingly bigger. We'll put it up against a couple of pretty good sized knives in the CJRB Frac up top. And then we have the Tenable and Concept Colibri Tech design, and this is a massive knife, and you'll see it's quite a bit longer than the Arma. But if you have handled a Frac, the Arma is going to be similar in length, but it's going to be so much thicker in hand. So let's go ahead and we'll check that pocket clip, see what the retention is like. Not too tight. I was thinking this might be a little too tight, but no, it's not. Pretty good retention there. And standard milled clip, you'll have a little bit poking out of the pocket there, but this is going to look awesome in the pocket. You got that diamond texturing. I mean, it'll be evident this is most likely a pocket knife, but it's going to look very clean. You have a ton of area here to grab a hold of the knife and pull it out of the pocket. Very good retention on that clip. They didn't overdo it, and oftentimes these thicker, more robust milled tie clips can be a little bit too tight, and Miguron kept that retention very good there. So the ultimate question is going to be, or at least one of the ultimate questions is, what does this thing weigh? And I have been severely off lately. This thing's perfectly centered up. We're going to check this blade stock here in a moment. The weight on this thing, it's going to be hard to tell for me. I want to say, 9 ounces maybe. Could it be even more than that possibly? I don't know. Let's go 9.7. 9.7. Ooh, it's not even 9. Okay, it's 8.5. That's not crazy. That's like AD10 in that area. So we got 8.5 ounces and 240 grams for everyone else. We'll go ahead and check our handle thickness and our blade thickness, as well as the behind the edge thickness, and we're coming in at a 0.67 for our handle thickness, so a very thick bugger in the pocket. This will definitely take up the entire pocket, and we're looking at 250 thousandths on the blade stock, on the thickest part. And if you're not familiar, that is very, very thin. Let's see if I have something here that's kind of normal. So here's probably a standard blade stock thickness for a standard pocket knife, roughly. And just look at that. That thing is massive. So if you like overbuilt knives, this is definitely an option to consider. Let's pick a random spot here. And we'll get up behind the edge. Get a little bit better. Oh, I think it's right about 19 thousandths or so. Come on. Well, there it's saying 30. 29 right there. Could have swore it said. So there it's a little thinner, about 24 thousandths. So it's a fairly thick bugger behind the edge. Let's go ahead and we'll cut and check that edge. Now this was no means designed to be your slicer or anything like that. It is definitely meant more as a bruiser, for sure. I mean, look at that thing. But let's see what kind of edge. Okay. Surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. Holy smokes. Yeah. Oh, man. We still got that nice low tip. Be able to do some piercing and poking work. Very, very nice. The action has smoothed out a little bit. And it's not too crazy on the drop. It's got a nice halfway pop, and I think it'll break in as we continue opening and closing this thing. It could probably stand a good cleaning and a little bit of oil, but you can see, you can hear it, you can feel it. It's got a nice detent, so I think this will ultimately be a nice deploying knife, as well as something that's going to drop pretty clean, but not overly aggressive on that closing action. Last thing we need to check is this lock. And as I said earlier, the blade came perfectly centered. Nice tight tolerances in there. A little bit of jimping. No detent lash at all. Very good. No pivot lash. No up and down play. There's a little bit of oil in there. I can see it kind of leaking out there. There's no up and down play. And there's no side-to-side play. It feels very, very good. Let's go ahead and we'll check this thing and see what happens here. Couple of lighter ones. It sounds good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's what I want to see, baby. Now, I don't know 100% sure. I know that there was some issues a while back with Miguron and the M390 being a little bit softer than it should have been. I believe they have corrected that now. Coming from the owner of Miguron, I believe they have upped that to standard 59 to 61. I believe that is the case at this point in time. If I can find anything else out on the steel and the treatment of the steel, but I believe it is at 59 to 61 now, which no, that is not perfect or exactly where I would want it. I'd rather 60 as a minimum, but 59 to 61, you know, I will take it because that's what we've been pretty much getting the last couple of years from everyone. And although, you know, it could be better, it has done me just fine with steels in that range. It's been just fine. Definitely could be better. At that 60 to 62, you'd get a little bit more life or quite a bit more life out of the edge. But for a casual user, someone who just uses their knife as an everyday cutting tool, you're not out testing, cutting hundreds of feet of cardboard, it's going to do just fine for you at that 59 to 61, in my opinion. You'll have to let me know. What do you think of the new Miguron Arma? And if you have anything from Miguron or AM8, let us know down in the comments what you think of your knife from them. Love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. And if you're new to my channel here and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. I release daily videos just like this. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen. YouTube is recommending you go check out right now. Have yourself an awesome day. I'll catch you on the next one.